I'm a Luigi. I shoot the CEO. Welcome to Wild True, the podcast of your wildest memes.
We're here to dissect the entire internet, something normal to want and possible to achieve. I'm science fiction author, not your attorney, and murder advocate, NSA, this is a joke, Isabel J. Kim.
And I'm Amanda Silberling, an internet culture reporter, and person who's glad that my favorite Pokemon is not Breloom. Anyone could be famous on the internet, so why not us?
So, we're doing this episode kind of off the cuff because you know when a guy kills a healthcare executive and that guy went to your school and you have 5 mutual friends on Facebook with that guy?
I have 9 mutual friends on Facebook with him, so...
That's crazy. We felt like we had a special perspective to take on the UHC CEO murder of it all.
If you've been living under a rock, United Healthcare, for the non-American listeners, healthcare corporations are bad and more so exist to deny coverage than to help people receive healthcare. They're very expensive, and the most American thing you could possibly experience is like being on hold with your healthcare provider for like an hour trying to see if they'll cover something that you need to exist.
Yeah, so basically what happens with healthcare in America is usually healthcare is either you have to buy your own insurance or you have employer-covered healthcare, and if your insurance is shitty, basically your insurance can be like, actually, we're not going to cover that, and this can happen after they've already approved something. So basically you end up in kind of a tug-of-war between your healthcare provider, the insurance company, and the insurance company, as all for-profit companies in America, are beholden to like fiduciary duty. They are trying to not give you healthcare. They are trying to say no to as many of the things as possible because that's better for their bottom line. They do not want to pay out. So you, as a consumer, end up arguing with a guy on a phone, as Amanda said.
Yeah.
It sucks. Everyone hates this. To be clear, we all hate this.
And, like, not having health insurance isn't really an option. Like, I have prescription drugs that I take every day and need to take every day to, like, be a person. And if I didn't have insurance, that'd probably be, like, several $100s a month easily.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, it's, like, $20.
Which is, like, one of those things where you are kind of forced into doing the system no matter what you want to do. Like, I'm a freelancer right now, but I'm on Cobra, and I'm paying out of pocket for health insurance, and it is so many dollars. But it's either that or not having health insurance, so...
And then if you don't have health insurance and something bad happens, then you might have to pay like $100,000 to the hospital.
And basically, strike this if I'm wrong, but I believe that healthcare costs are the number one reason that people declare bankruptcy in America. So this is an issue that affects people every day. And let's take a step back. Why are we talking about healthcare?
This is an episode where we just explain to our non-American listeners what healthcare is. But given what we have discussed, you might hear the news that somebody murdered the CEO of United Healthcare, one of the biggest healthcare companies in America, with 3 bullets that had the words deny, defend, depose, which are 3 reasons why healthcare claims might not be accepted. Yeah.
The dude was murdered in Midtown Manhattan outside of his hotel before walking into a meeting in broad daylight.
I gotta say...
Kind of based. Sorry, it's kind of cool. I do like that this is like comic book vigilante shit. To be clear, probably people shouldn't be doing this, but I like that he had style.
Yeah, it is like, you know...
He left the backpack full of Monopoly money. That's so good.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like, do you think this is how people feel about the Joker in like Gotham? It's like, well, at least he's funny. At least this is like a good bit.
God, it's like Donald Trump, where he is kind of funny, but also I think he's evil and is gonna kill people.
It's so annoying that his posts are good. He makes good posts.
He's a really good poster and his posts are really funny, but also, like, that doesn't make you a good person or a good president, and I don't think he's a good person or a good president.
I don't think the president should be a poster. Like, beyond everything else.
The president should not know how to post. And that's the one redeeming quality of Joe Biden, is that he probably doesn't know how to post. I mean, I went to the White House for an event about the creator economy and saw Joe Biden speak. And from seeing him speak, I don't think he knows what social media is.
That's good. He's like a grandpa. This is how it should be.
He was talking to a creator economy conference and was like, "Hey guys, did you know that I lowered the price of insulin?" And that brings us back to the healthcare thing to begin with, which is that like insulin is crazy expensive, and even if you have insurance, it's like, come on, Bo Jiden had to step in, Joseph Robinette Biden.
Anyway, so a healthcare CEO got murdered, and which triggered a manhunt in New York City, and also just kind of like, I would say, a nationwide manhunt in the sense that he was caught in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, and what happened after the murder was one, there were like CCTV pictures of who they suspected it might be, where like he has a hood up and he's wearing a mask. But from what we saw of his face, everyone on the internet was like, oh my god, the murderer is hot.
Yeah, like people were thirsting over the murderer quite a bit.
And also, what was interesting was that there was definitely a divide on both social media and just like general public opinion, where like watching MSNBC, they're like, this man was murdered and it's very bad. And then on social media, a lot of people were like, good, he deserved it.
Yeah, it's like out of people to die, we care less about this one was kind of the vibe.
Like the reaction to the CEO of United Healthcare dying was very similar to the reaction to Henry Kissinger dying, which, I mean, we did a whole episode about that, crab rave for Henry Kissinger, but like, I don't know. I mean, you could also make the argument that being the CEO of a healthcare company causes mass death, maybe not on a comparable scale to Henry Kissinger.
Okay, but to be fair, it's really hard to get up to Kissinger levels.
Yeah.
Like that's like advanced murder.
Yeah, that's AP murder.
AP murder. God. So I feel like this is an interesting debate to have because I feel like we are both reasonable people, but we have kind of ended up on like slightly different viewpoints of, is this cool to celebrate? Because my position is very much like, yeah, this dude represented a lot of horrible shit for a lot of people. It's reasonable that the American populace feels pretty okay about this one.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're more just kind of like, but what if we don't celebrate people getting murdered in broad daylight? Which is also, I get that.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah, my stance is like, I appreciate the internet culture of it all. Like there's been such a internet uproar around they caught the suspect who is named Luigi Mangione, and everyone is like all in on Luigi. Like it's been very funny to watch, but also like I don't think murder is good.
Controversial statements from Amanda Silberling.
It's so funny because, like, I feel like such a lib. I feel like all of my friends are like, this is a good thing. And I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't think this guy was a great guy, but I am generally uncomfortable about someone getting murdered in broad daylight in Midtown Manhattan.
Okay, so the way that I feel about this is very much like what the dude represents is probably different than who he was as a person. And that guy was a dude who had like a family, he had kids, there was a whole like apparatus of love and joy around him. However, everyone who dies because of the healthcare system also has that apparatus of love and joy. The other thing I would say is that like he seems like a garden variety CEO in the sense that like basically as soon as he died, he was replaced. Being a part of the CEO class does not save you from being a cog in the machine. And in that sense, he was also a replaceable part. And the actual evil here is the fiduciary duty and to the shareholders, and the fact that we have allowed things to get to such a state regarding antitrust in this country and also privatized healthcare that a company like United Healthcare can exist. That being said, he was making the decisions that trickle down, essentially trickle down healthcare, trickle down economics. I'm trying to come up with a joke.
Thank you, Ronald Reagan.
I'm failing miserably, but that did lead indirectly to suffering. And I guess like there's the argument that like if you are far enough up the chain in the Rube Goldberg machine and you pull a lever, are you responsible for that death at the end of it, or are you still going to heaven? This I think is a case of that.
This really is like a trolley problem of a murder.
And it's also kind of one of those things where I'm like, yeah, I get it if somebody is celebrating this because it feels like ordinary people getting revenge against the class that is exploiting them.
Yeah, and I think this is also similar to the reaction around Henry Kissinger dying again,
Hmm.
because Henry Kissinger's death represented not the end of an era, because the impacts of Henry Kissinger are still there, i.e., actual relevant mention of Laos on the
Oh my
podcast.
god.
I lived next to a UXO museum, unexploded ordinances,
Hmm.
which are like the landmines, which are bombs that Henry Kissinger dropped on Laos in the Vietnam War. And they're still there. And it is not an abnormal thing for Lao children in rural areas to like go play and then they accidentally step on a bomb and either die or like have a limb exploded off of them.
That's fucked.
So, like,
The ghost of Henry Kissinger continues to kill.
yeah, people so unanimously have agreed that Henry Kissinger is a war criminal to the nth degree that it felt like his death was justice in a time when there's not justice. And I think people are reacting similarly to a CEO being murdered, but I do think a key difference here is that Henry Kissinger simply just died because he was old, and this man was murdered in the middle of Manhattan.
Right, but it's also kind of one of those things where it's like, well, this guy killed a bunch of people and now someone has killed him. That's how people
Yeah.
feel about it. And okay, so controversial statement I'm going to make here. I think it's fine for reasons of if you're a CEO of a company that is mostly there to deny health claims, it's reasonable that people have beef with you and it's reasonable that other people think of you as Satan. You should be assuming those risks when you go into this position.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you are not taking on a job that is like a good person job. This is like how if you're going to be the president, you just have to accept that you're going to be a war criminal. Like, ugh.
Yeah, thanks, Obama.
Thanks, Obama.
About a week after this murder took place, and it is dominating the news cycle for a week, everybody is having this same discourse we are having about is it okay to murder? After all that, the guy gets caught in a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania.
Honestly, a McDonald's is the most American place that you could be caught for being a murderer or whatever.
Getting caught for doing a murder in a McDonald's in rural Pennsylvania after murdering a healthcare CEO is literally the most American thing I can think of, except maybe
Yeah.
if Elmo was there.
God.
So the name gets released. This guy is 26 and he is named Luigi Mangione. And relevant to us, two people who attended the University of Pennsylvania and graduated in 2018. This man attended the University of Pennsylvania and graduated in 2020, meaning that we were at Penn at the same time as him, and it's not that big of a school.
Like we said, we have Facebook friends in common with Luigi Mangione.
In what was like way too fun of an afternoon, as soon as this guy's name got released, everyone is coming out of the woodworks from Penn. Everyone is texting each other, like, do you know Luigi? And then you're suddenly getting all these texts where I'm like, my friend's boyfriend's friend was in his frat. All of the anecdotes I have gotten about Luigi at Penn are literally just like, he was just a guy.
Yeah, it truly is like everyone is coming out of the woodwork to be like, yeah, I knew the murderer in some capacity.
Yeah. There was a great meme that was posted on a private Instagram account by someone who is a friend of a friend. And I feel bad because I like copied her meme and put it on my close friend story, but like, I don't follow her. I couldn't get the meme and I'm not going to like credit her for the meme when she has a private Instagram account on my close friend story, but she posted a meme that was like the picture of the guy from Always Sunny with like the red strings trying to piece everything together, and it was like
The Pepe Sylvia meme, yes.
yes, and it was like everybody who went to Penn between 2017 and 2023.
No, literally that's what's going on and it's extremely funny.
For reasons unbeknownst to me, I went to 7:45 a.m. Pilates yesterday.
Choices.
Choices. And honestly, it was great. I then after was like, wow, I sure am hungry and could really use a coffee and a breakfast sandwich from the cafe that I like that is nearby. So I walk over there. I walk in. They're talking about Luigi.
I mean, like, of course they are. Like, it's Philadelphia.
Yeah, and because Penn is in Philadelphia, and I'm in Philadelphia, and I'm in a coffee shop in Philadelphia before 9 a.m. getting a coffee and a breakfast sandwich on a tomato rosemary bagel, which is very good.
Ooh, that's
Gotta love the tomato rosemary sourdough at Redacted Cafe. Literally, I walk in and they're talking about Luigi, and then I'm like, I went to Penn and my friend's friends knew him or whatever. And they're like, oh my God. And then literally while I am there, I get a text message from a friend who went to Drexel. I have friends that went to Drexel from college that like I know just because of geographic proximity more so than like we went to the same school because Drexel and Penn are literally next to each other. I cannot emphasize enough.
It is literally like adjoining blocks.
So I get a text that's like, Nick says that there's this girl, Sophia, who you're friends with on Facebook, and apparently Sophia's friend was roommates with him. And I'm like, yes, I do know Sophia.
It really is like everyone is playing like 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon with Luigi Mangione. The other thing people are doing is like, so we really have like our first relevant case of a Gen Z murderer on our hands. Like, I mean, we've had multiple of these, but like not one where everyone is digging up all of his social media posts and realizing that his like ideology is actually not particularly like coherent. But it's like, it's incoherent in a way where he is a guy who's on Twitter who's in his 20s.
Yeah, and then he posts things like, I don't know if this is real, but there is a screenshot of a post going around that says, I need a white chick to go bug mode on my dick.
Hey,
what does that mean?
What does going bug mode on his dick?
I will say, you sent this to me and said, what do you think he means by this? And I said, we can do a collaborative close reading on the pod. And you said, going back to our Penn English roots. So I guess this is when we do the collaborative close reading. What's up, y'all? It's the mid-roll, and it's the season of gift giving. I just tried to make gluten-free cookies in the spirit of gift giving, and let's just say I technically made one cookie because they all melted together. They still taste pretty good though, so we have to take our victories where we can get them, and I have some cookies that need to be cut into multiple cookies instead of one big cookie. Speaking of gift giving, it's getting close to the holidays. Actually, if you're listening to this episode the day it comes out, not to like freak you out, but you actually only have 1 week left until Christmas and Hanukkah. It's not a lot of time. I don't know what you're doing, but great news. You can give the gift of Patreon subscriptions. It's very easy. You just head over to Patreon at patreon.com/wowiftrue/gift. Choose the tier you want to gift, the length of time, and check out. You'll get a gift link and you can send that for your loved one or your hated one if you're kind of doing a gag gift situation for them to claim. So what are you waiting for? You can give a last-minute gift that doesn't put a strain on the postal service, and you're supporting independent creatives. That's me. We're Isabel and I, that's us. We're the independent creatives. You're supporting us. Speaking of supporting us, shout out to our newest patrons, Will and Gabby. Every time we get a new patron, I get a little email with a confetti emoji, and then I'm like, woo, we got a new patron, yay! And then I text Isabel and I'm like, yay! And then Isabel's like, yay! And we all get excited, and then you jump into our Discord where we have created a culture of everyone sending deranged emojis when someone joins. So, I mean, I'm really selling this. You gotta get over to our Patreon, and back to the show.
Okay, the tweet, if you didn't hear us earlier, is, I need a white chick to go bug mode on my dick. There are no capital letters in it. There is no punctuation.
So, what's really great about Luigi Mangione is that this is also finally bringing us to a crossroads in the great internet debate. The greatest debate on the internet is not, is a hot dog a sandwich? It is. No one cares. The greatest debate on the internet is, are Italians white?
I think Italians are a minority when you want to make fun of them. Like, Italians are a minority when you want to make fun of a white guy.
Are you looking at Joe? Yeah. What does Joe think about?
Hey, Joe?
Yeah.
Do you think Italians are white?
Do you think that the Irish are white?
Joe said, do you think the Irish are white?
Okay, they are white. You can make fun of them for their ethnicity and nobody has a problem with it. This would have been a problem like 70 years ago. It would have been a big deal. But apparently we have moved on.
Except on the island, somebody famously gave a presentation about why they don't like French people, and then another person who is Italian was like, what if we, like, didn't bully people about their ethnicity? Which I do agree with. However, the presentation was funny.
The presentation was funny. My other hot take is that I think if you're European, you can make fun of other Europeans. That's white people shit. I don't get it. I have no knowledge of any of this. It's like how all of the East Asian races are so fucking racist to each other.
So, as an Ashkenazi Jew who has ancestry in Poland, can I make fun of Italians?
I think that's fine.
I'm a Luigi. I shoot at the CEO.
I
go to the McDonald's. I eat a burger. I get arrested. I go to a jail.
God, I hope he gets acquitted. I hope he gets like a jury of people who are like, this is based, and then just lets him go.
Yeah, that's what they were talking about in the cafe yesterday. They were like, how are they going to find a jury of people that are like unbiased about healthcare?
Yeah, it's going to be all CEOs, man. It's going to be an all CEO jury.
No, I don't think you can have CEOs on the jury, because I think that they're biased towards CEOs.
Yeah, I mean, you can't, but like, it's fine.
Oh my god. So, yeah, but so he says, I need a white chick to go bug mode on my dick.
I think we need to really go and focus in on bug mode here, because I think that is actually the key to this entire sentence. And if we can understand what bug mode means.
Now I'm like looking up. Okay, breaking news. I don't think that Luigi Mangione said, I need a white chick to go bug mode on my dick after doing some basic fact checking. However, I think we should still close read this.
Because I think that's actually, it's still interesting.
Because this guy is named Big Fat Pussy Lip, and I cannot tell his ethnicity based on his photo, because it looks like it's edited.
He took a screenshot, and the screenshot might be edited, and I have no way of confirming any of this because it is the internet. It's probably fake, but it was funny enough for me to send to Amanda.
Yeah. No, this is definitely fake, but I do still think that we need a close read what this guy means by I need a white chick to go bug mode on my dick.
Okay, metatextually, it's really funny that Twitter users are faking screenshots of an alleged murderer's tweets, essentially like thought posting, like making horny posts, like weird horny posts on Twitter, which says something about where this shooting lies in the American consciousness.
What does bug mode mean, though?
Hold on, I'm gonna just look this up. Maybe we can just solve this right here.
Yeah. Urban Dictionary, bug mode.
Okay, what does bugging mean slang? I think it might mean just freaking out. So I think this actually means something closer to, I need a white chick to go crazy on my dick.
I like freaking out because then it can be like, imagine people having sex, but the girl is like having a crisis.
White chick looking at the dick and going, why is it like that?
Why?
I do think looking at a dick and going, why is it like that, is actually a key portion of not having a dick and seeing one for the first time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's actually like a core memory, you know?
I'm
not wrong.
No, you're not wrong. Okay, so Luigi Mangione may not have said, I need a white chick to go bug mode on my dick. However, he did say some shit on Goodreads.
Oh my god.
And of course, everybody immediately Googles him and finds all of his social media, including Goodreads, where he wrote a pretty glowing review, albeit 4 stars, of the Unabomber's manifesto.
That was kind of based. I thought that was funny as hell.
His review of the manifesto was like, I don't think the Unabomber should have killed innocent people, but also he was onto something, that's a take.
I also really appreciate that this came after Why Don't Men Read discourse. And then it's like, there's one man who reads. It's the shooter.
But did he read any fiction?
Well, we can look at his Goodreads right now.
Well, no, because on his Goodreads, they made it private.
That's fucked.
Fuck you, Amazon.
Oh, okay, so other stuff about, like, people censoring stuff about Luigi Mangione. I was reading earlier today about how the New York Times basically had an internal mandate about, hey, we gotta stop posting his photo. And I think it's just because he's hot. Ken Klippenstein, who's the same guy who posted the Luigi Manifesto, if you will.
He's a pretty well-known political journalist who used to work for The Intercept, but left because, I don't know, he could do better on his own. But I do generally trust what he posts as a journalist.
So basically, it seems like a lot of people have been filtering leaks to him just because it looks like he'll post them as opposed to other people. For example, he posted Luigi's manifesto, which, okay, I think the combination of this guy's name being Luigi and him being hot is also fueling the fire.
Yeah,
Like, I hate to say this, but like,
if his name was Greg, this would not be happening.
no, if it was Greg, it would still be happening because that's a real white boy name that is so basic that it would wrap back around.
What would his name have to be for this to not be happening?
I feel like John or something.
John Mangione. Luigi Mangione is such a good name.
It's just, he sounds so Italian.
Luigi Mangione.
I feel like Luigi's appearance and his whole vibe has added so much fuel to the fire in the sense that, first of all, he's like a hot boy. He's a hot boy who kills people. And so obviously that people are loving this. People are also talking about like new standards for men.
That they have to do murder.
That they do have to do murder. And yeah, earlier today, Ken posted about how Times management basically has directed staff to dial back Luigi's headshots because he looks too attractive in them, presumably. I don't know why.
I mean, there is a real psychological thing of like, cult leaders have to be hot. You need to be charismatic or have people have a reason to pay attention to you to get sway. And I don't think that people are seeing this and they're like, I should also do a murder. But like, he would not be getting as much attention. Like, there was a clip of TV broadcasters outside of the facility where Luigi currently is in solitary confinement. And the prisoners were like shouting so that the TV could pick up what they were saying. Like, free Luigi, like Luigi's conditions aren't good.
People fucking love Luigi. He's a hero of the people.
Yeah, people love Luigi. Also, just imagine you're Luigi.
Imagine being Luigi. First of all, your name is now Luigi. Sorry.
So, I don't think this guy is in his right mind. Like, I think he is insane in some way because he did a murder. But imagine you're in prison and then your lawyer's like, good news. Everybody's talking about how hot you are.
That honestly would make me feel better about the whole thing.
You're in solitary confinement and you're like, at least they think I'm hot.
Okay, the other thing I want to say about this is like, why was he wearing 4 jackets? Because one of the early memes was like, every picture that the New York Police Department has of the suspect is a different white guy in a jacket and like all different parts of this white guy's face. And it's like, is this the same white guy? It's clearly not. And it's like 4 different jackets. And then you see the picture of Luigi and he's just wearing like 4 jackets layered on top of each other. And it's like, not what we were expecting, but that does explain it.
I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe it's so that he could evade getting caught for longer, but then he got caught in a McDonald's because someone snitched on him.
The other interesting thing here, I think, based on the public sentiment towards Luigi, is that the person who snitched is basically getting doxxed.
Oh, that kind of sucks.
That sucks, and it's very much like everyone is mad at this like working class person who works at a McDonald's. I have no strong feelings on this other than that like it does feel like a dog pile a bit, but also kind of like I think the sentiment is very much this guy is ruining our fun, which is kind of a weird thing to have about a murder. On the other hand, come on. Come on.
So, can we talk about the theories about Luigi leaving clues?
Yes.
As someone who went to Penn, this is very Penn kid behavior. Like,
this is such Penn kid behavior.
If a Penn kid did a murder, they definitely would leave clues.
Hey, like, real talk, this is kind of obnoxious Penn behavior of him. Wait, the other thing related to Penn I'd like to say is that they keep calling him an Ivy League graduate because they know that nobody is going to recognize Penn.
Yeah, this comedian, Ginny Hogan, she posted something that was like, somewhere in a Pennsylvania correctional facility, Luigi Mangione is saying, no, not Penn State.
I would do that. Look, I also went to Penn, I get it. Okay, but yeah, this is the sort of murder that a Penn kid would do. It is kind of obnoxious, and it's like, it is the sort of thing where like a guy feels like they're smarter than everyone else.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. There's a theory that he was trying to get caught and also that he's playing Monopoly.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are the Monopoly clues?
First, Monopoly money. I don't know the others, but tell me about this.
There's 2 theories. One of them revolves around the number 286.
Mm-hmm.
On Luigi's Twitter account, the cover photo was the Pokemon Breloom. It is a grass fighting type Pokemon. It is a mushroom with arms and legs. It can punch people and it can also poison them, I guess. Then there was a picture of an x ray of his back, presumably after surgery, because as another thing we know from his Goodreads is that he had really bad back pain and had like significant back surgery, potentially related to motives. And then the last picture is just him shirtless in like a forest.
Mm-hmm. It is a thirst trap photo, to be clear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Breloom is number 286 in Pokemon.
Okay.
Every Pokemon has a number.
Hey, I love that Pokemon has become, like, I feel like this is truly, like, a murder you could solve. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's also like, damn, first Typhlosion and now Breloom, like, Pokemon are really having a rough couple months.
how do you feel about the fact that, like, a video game from our childhood, now that, like, people our age or adults, has become, like, relevant in, like, a serious context because people will take stuff from their childhood and make it a whole thing because now they are making the pop culture.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like how I think you've said on the podcast before that, like, Elon Musk's whole thing is that he's trying to live in the sci-fi books that he liked as a kid.
Yeah.
Apparently, Proverbs 28:6 in the Bible allegedly says, "Better is a poor man who walks in his integrity than a rich man who is crooked in his ways." And also, Altoona is 286 miles away from the murder scene in Manhattan. And also, 286 is a code that healthcare people can use to deny a claim. And in terms of like the Monopoly map, he went through Central Park, which like this person on TikTok named Lynn's Unhinged, which yeah, pretty unhinged stuff here, claims that perhaps going through the park is like free parking, like that space in the game, and also that when you roll doubles 3 times, you go to jail. And if you roll 3 times, 3 doubles, 286, you go to jail, she said.
I'm gonna be real. This is all starting to sound like there are cathedrals everywhere for those with eyes who see, and like in just creating meaning from not a ton of stuff. On the other hand, I could totally see a Penn kid doing this.
I feel like they're kind of grasping at straws because another 286 thing is that he had 286 posts on Twitter, and also that his cousin has 286 followers on something.
And like, yeah, then this is all nothing. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if he is actually doing a 2 steps ahead, I'm always 2 steps ahead sort of thing, because that would be kind of based. And it does seem like this dude is doing like a obnoxious planning shit, like, here's my thing full of Monopoly money that you found in the park. Guy with a message he clearly wants to convey. That being said, I feel like a lot of what's going around him now is people conspiracy theorying. Okay, wait, actually, this ties back actually to a core message of our show, which is that like watching this play out on Blue Sky and Twitter has been a radically different experience.
Mm-hmm.
What's been interesting is that Twitter has gone full conspiracy theorist on this that I've seen, where people are like, yeah, the deep state is definitely like using like forbidden methods to track him. This came out of nowhere. It seems very set up, that sort of thing. This guy's a patsy, that sort of stuff. Whereas on Blue Sky, there's people are talking about it people are having a regular conversation. And like on both sites, people are sharing, here's how the healthcare system fucked me over. So that's just been kind of interesting, just seeing how the Twitter exodus has shaped the Blue Sky and Twitter conversations.
Yeah, there's also something with like allegedly uploading a video that they claimed it was from Luigi, but The Intercept reported that it's a hoax. I have not really looked into this.
And I think the other like internet related conspiracy theory stuff around this is actually this dude's ideology seems very much shaped by the internet, specifically like rationalist like teapot spaces.
Not rationalism.
No, literally, I think this is it. So what I feel like we're starting to see the surge of, and I hope I'm wrong about this, but I don't think I am, is that I think this and the Trump shooter, the guy who tried to shoot Trump, it's like we're seeing what is basically the beginning of what is like gray tribe murders, which is people on the internet who are slightly right wing adjacent, but also kind of like a rationalist, teapot, like guys who think they can think good,
Yeah.
now feeling like they need to take action, because this is a whole, I wouldn't call this like disaffected men. I would call this guys who spend too much time on Twitter.
Yeah, and I mean, this guy definitely just seems like a tech bro who has some kind of weird tech bro takes.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's like people who think they're Grey Tribe.
God, we need to go back to the Goodreads because it's just so funny. I had looked at it when it was online. It has since been taken down, but thankfully the good people at LitHub have written an article called "What Can We Really Learn About the UHC CEO's Killer Based on the Books He's Read?" And then
Good.
it's on the radically normal reading habits of Luigi Mangione. And also, as this writer points out, quote, "It's a Schrodinger's posting situation. We know everything and nothing simultaneously," which, yeah, there are theories about him playing real life Monopoly because he went to Pennsylvania and the Pennsylvania Railroad, whatever. But it's very basic. He's reading like the 4-hour work week and like Atomic Habits and the bullet journal method. It's very like tech bro who went to Penn.
Yeah, like this is all like guy who worked at a tech company type book.
Yeah, he also on his to read list has Infinite Jest, which I thought was very funny.
God, that's really funny. Of course he does.
Yeah. Okay, one more funny thing. He read Steve-O's memoir twice.
Okay, that's good. I like the twice.
This is the review of the Unabomber's manifesto from February that says, "Clearly written by a mathematics prodigy, reads like a series of lemmas on the question of 21st century quality of life. It's easy to quickly and thoughtless write this off as the manifesto of a lunatic in order to avoid facing some of the uncomfortable problems it identifies, but it's simply impossible to ignore how prescient many of his predictions about modern society turned out. He was a violent individual rightfully imprisoned who maimed innocent people. While these actions tend to be characterized of those as a crazy Luddite, however, they are more accurately seen as those of an extreme political revolutionary."
Guy who likes the Unabomber. I don't know what to do with that.
I like that he gave it 4 stars specifically.
I wonder what the star he took off was for.
Yeah.
You know, like that's what I'm curious about.
Also, there was a fraternity while we were at Penn that they had like an arson scandal. And my reaction to finding out the frat he was in at Penn is I'm surprised it's not the arson one.
Yeah. Apparently everyone said he was like a normal guy until this. Okay, my theory about this honestly is extremely boring. I think what happened is that he basically was having regular guy problems, did ayahuasca, snapped. It's boring, but it's like more likely than other stuff.
Yeah, I'm just stuck on like all of the theories coming out from people at Penn, like how apparently everybody at Penn Engineering has to take a 3D printing course, which is why they think he like 3D printed parts of the gun.
I don't even know if that's Penn specific, because I feel like 3D printing is such a generic tech bro thing to be able to do at this point. Like, I'm sorry, that's basic. I'm calling him basic.
Although, you know what is a post that my friend sent me that he posted on Facebook?
Please tell me.
"No, one of my fishies got sucked into the filter, sad face."
Small domino, the fishy getting stuck in the filter. Big domino, UHC shooting.
Yeah, that's from 2010, so I guess he was like 12 at the time. There was also a copy pasta.
God.
"Calling all you Penn alumni, the Copay cutie couldn't stay under the button any longer. He came out to make your pussy quake and shake in your red and blue panties."
How do we feel about the fact that a shooting is basically a media event for our school community? That's also very Penn, is how I feel about it.
Oh yeah, it's very Penn. We have Trump, we have Elon Musk, now we have Luigi.
I was gonna say, what do you think is in the water at Penn?
I don't know, but I'm on 3 different antidepressants right now, so that's what's in the water at Penn.
No, it's clearly not in the water at Penn, because if it was in the water at Penn, you'd already be on them.
To be clear, I'm on 3 because I'm titrating.
Do you think Penn's admissions are going to go up or go down?
I think it won't have an effect.
It won't have an effect, okay.
Because it's not like it's Penn's fault. He just kind of happened to go to Penn. Another thing is like something that I think about because I'm insane is who's the most famous person that we went to school with? And I think it's
oh my
Luigi.
God, it is Luigi. This is like how I went to the same high school as the Firefest guy.
Oh, wait, you did?
Yeah, well, I didn't. Okay, so to be clear, he's older than us, so I was not actually in school at the same time he was in school, but it's close enough that people who are older than me, who I know him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, that guy seemed like a regular Pingree kid. And that is our most famous alumni.
Yeah, because I feel like of the people that we overlapped with, like, has anyone become, like, particularly famous?
I mean, arguably, like, Tiffany Trump was in our class year, but I feel like that doesn't count.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also feel like Luigi is more famous than her now.
Oh, yeah, no.
Like, I can't think of anyone who is more famous than that. It's gonna be me someday.
Yeah.
I mean, no, it's not, but it
It might be.
It might
Well,
be.
now it's not, because it's just forever gonna be Luigi.
So I gotta kill a guy.
No. Isabel, no.
I'm not going to. I shouldn't be saying this shit. This is all getting recorded.
I mean, we do sell merch that says, just kill them. This is not legal advice.
Yeah, I mean, okay, my hot take on this is mostly like, you actually shouldn't kill people, but I think it's fine to voyeuristically talk about it like we are talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, this is a symptom of how true crime is just entertainment at this point, and we are so, like, overexposed to true crime stories. I feel like my initial reaction was like, he got shot in the middle of Manhattan, and people were like, who cares?
The thing is that America is a violent country. Like, we have historically been violent countries. People get lynched. Shit happens here, and we normalize violence and the appearance of violence to a degree that is actually kind of unsettling when you start thinking about it.
Yeah. I will end by quoting a great joke from Under the Button, which is a comedy publication, satire publication at Penn, which is Luigi Mangione, first Phi Psi guy to ever have a body count.
Heyo! Timeline. Don't kill anybody, guys.